Hey everyone, Rua here with a short editorial. Now, commenting on a version update is a first time thing for me, but this one really gave me something to talk about. The main thing most people noticed was that some melee jobs got a new job trait, Damage Limit Plus. Some of you, especially newer players, might be scratching your heads and wondering what on earth this trait does, so I'll break it down for you. Damage Limit Plus is a job trait version of the physical damage limit attribute added to some JSE neck pieces from Dynamis-Divergence. Both do the same thing, so why the developers decided to give them different names, I'll never know. Most melee jobs got at least a tier or two of the trait, but some got more than others. Thief, Ninja and Red Mage got 1 tier, Warrior, Samurai, Dancer, Puppetmaster and Beastmaster got 2, Monk, Dragoon and Ranger got 3, and Dark Knight unsurprisingly got 5. What this trait does though is affect the PDIF cap. PDIF means physical difference, and it's a game mechanic designed to determine player damage against target defense, and vice versa. Different weapon types have different caps, which you can see if you look to the chart on the left. When you reach a certain degree of attack power, you cannot deal any more damage beyond a set amount, no matter how many buffs you have. This is why you could stack every single attack and defense down effect in the game, but still be doing the same amount of damage if you had half of the effects, provided those effects got you to the PDIF cap in the first place. Put very simply, this trait allows jobs with it to bypass the hard PDIF cap. You still need to reach the PDIF cap in the first place for it to take effect, so it's not like it's a straight up damage increase trait. While you'll mostly see it pay dividends in group content where you've got support making it easier to hit the cap, you will see some benefits against low level content. I've personally noticed a pretty sharp increase in melee damage on the jobs which have the trait, the more the better. Like I said, I'm not surprised Dark Knight got the highest tier of the trait, as it can already push its own attack power really high, and because it has the highest value of the smite trait as well. Dragoon also got 3 tiers of the job trait. As someone pretty fond of the job, it was really nice to see that. Dragoon can likewise close the PDIF cap by itself pretty easily, what with Wyvern giving it a constant attack bonus and with Angon hammering its target's defense. Like I said, this will depend on the level of your target, as well as its native defense stat, so against high level NMs, you are going to need some support to hit the cap for the trait to mean much. I've saved my personal favourite for last though. This update did a lot for Monk, and for Puppetmaster to a lesser degree. Sure, Monk got 3 tiers of the damage trait, but you might have noticed this tidbit from the update notes. The hand-to-hand accuracy cap has gone up to 99%. This is actually a big deal for Monk especially, and I'm about to explain why. Impetus's problem was always that it would reset whenever a Monk missed, so a Monk wasn't able to build up a solid stack of Impetus hits. The accuracy cap going up has given a major indirect buff to Impetus, and subsequently a Monk's white damage, which was already solid as is. Post-update, I've been able to rack up some very lengthy Impetus chains, to the extent I might as well have Mighty Strikes active. This has also buffed Victory Smite by increasing its critical hit rate while Impetus is active. Honestly, look at this clip and try and spot when I finally miss and reset Impetus. On a side note, the update to Strength having more of a bearing on melee damage has also indirectly buffed Boost, which if you recall from my Monk guide, amps up the strength modifier of weapon skills used with it. Look at the boosted tornado kick I'll land at the end of this fight. 76k. Ouch. The accuracy cap going up was also a major indirect buff to counter, and especially counterstance. I said during my monk guide that counterstance was a high risk, high reward ability, but now with the right melee set you not only take the risk out of it, but also turn it into a very nasty ability. Remember that counterattacks need to pass an accuracy check, and this was one of the things, major defensive drop aside, that was holding counterstance back. With the accuracy cap going to 99%, with a proper set you can pretty much be assured that barely any attacks are getting through, and your counters are going to freaking hurt. Seriously, my counters during counterstance double, and nearly triple in some cases, my regular attack damage. I'm not even fully buffed either, so I'd be interested to see how well this does in a proper group setup. Like I said, you still need to deal with counterstance's defense penalty by capping out your own PDT-DT value to balance out the drop. This can be done with what is admittedly a bit of a high-end set. Now, you don't need the Sagita to do this, but the +1 version of the weapon on the A path will suffice honestly. This set caps out a monk's PDT-DT value, while retaining some pretty good offensive attributes, most importantly among them, accuracy. Overall, I'm really impressed with this update and what it's done for some of my go-to jobs. Let me know your thoughts on it below. I'm about to get to work on the next job guide, and I've noticed that I'm approaching 2,000 subscribers as well. Wow. I'll be sure to upload a brief Q&A call for questions video like I did last time. Keep an eye out for it. I'll see you guys next time.